Catch. Get the hands up. Get this up. 2. Catch. Good one. Keep pushing. 4 seconds. Rip it. Hit it. Get out of there. Power.
Like Joe Parker hits harder than probably Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, you would think.
Punch-wise, I would think so, being a career-long heavyweight. Yeah, and he's got some good.
Joseph Parker's leaked training footage ahead of his clash with Fabio Wardley has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, and with good reason. The sharpness of his movement, the fluidity of his combinations, and the explosiveness of his timing suggest a fighter operating at a level far beyond what many expected. Wardley may bring power and momentum. But the footage makes one thing clear. Parker's experience, discipline, and razor-sharp form in camp look miles ahead of what Wardley is prepared for. Watching Parker train isn't just about seeing punches thrown, it's about seeing intent. Every shot has purpose. Every step is measured. Every sequence
Being in the ring with so many powerful punchers and so many powerful fighters who can bang and who have a lot of knockouts. And I've avoided being, I fought Shang. He caught me a few times and dropped me, but I have the heart and the willingness to never ever give up. And I've faced all those fighters before, and it's nothing new, but he will present himself in something different, and it's what I'm looking forward to, the challenge of fighting someone like Fabio Wardley.
Flows with the confidence of a man who knows he's rediscovered his prime. His footwork is light but commanding. His conditioning looks exceptional, and his combinations carry a polish only years at the elite level can create. Wardley talks a big game, but training clips like these expose the gap between a seasoned world champion and a still developing contender. Much of this resurgence is credited to trainer Andy Lee.
Everything really, technique and game plan, and rehearsing the right moves all the time.
That's it, Joe.
Lee, who has drilled discipline, repetition, and technical refinement into Parker's camp. Lee's approach avoids gimmicks or flooding Parker with new tricks. Instead, it's about sharpening what's already there until every weapon is instinctive. That kind of preparation produces a complete fighter, something Wardley has yet to face. Parker himself puts it...
He relies on his power far too much. He hasn't brought enough to his game right now, and I thought he would have kicked on from that. If he's going to have any chance against Joseph Parker, then he can't just rely on that big right hand. Joseph Parker's a seasoned, well-schooled athlete.
Who hits hard.
Yeah, who hits hard. He's on a resurgence in terms of his confidence and where he is in boxing now, Parker.
Bluntly, at heavyweight, hesitation is fatal. Swing recklessly and he'll put you on the canvas. That statement captures his mentality. He's not just preparing to fight, he's preparing to punish mistakes. Boxing analyst Duke McKenzie sees the fundamental issue for Wardley: he's too one-dimensional. Relying on brute force and heavy hands, he lacks the layers of strategy and adaptability needed to survive at the top. Against a technician like Parker, McKenzie argues that approach is suicidal. Parker thrives on timing, composure, and countering openings. When opponents swing wildly, his sharp counters and calm under fire can flip a fight instantly. Veteran broadcaster Adam Smith goes even further, insisting Parker looks sharper now than ever under Andy Lee. His rhythm
I think Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in. And remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in trouble, Dillian White down, so you can never write Wardley out of any.
Balance and composure are world-class. Wardley may take comfort in knowing Parker has been beaten before, but those setbacks have only made him more dangerous. He's been through fire, rebuilt, and returned stronger. Wardley, by contrast, has never truly been tested in deep waters against someone who can absorb his best shot and still march forward. Wardley's power is real, but without layers of strategy, it becomes predictable. And Parker has made a career dismantling fighters like that, patiently breaking them down until the knockout presents itself. That's why Smith calls Parker a massive problem, too refined, too disciplined, too dangerous. Wardley's confidence is admirable. He's been vocal, portraying himself as ready for the leap, but talk is cheap in heavyweight boxing. He's stepping into the ring with a man who has already
not come here to play around. I've not made it this far in my career to just hang about and wait for things to be handed to me. I'm very much a go-getter.
Fought the likes of Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder, and Zhilei Zhang. Parker's resume proves he hasn't just competed at the top, he's survived and thrived. Wardley's resume simply doesn't compare. Yes, confidence fuels fighters, but when the bell rings, experience takes over. Parker knows how to weather storms, lure opponents into overcommitting, and shift the tempo when it matters most. Wardley's youth and ambition shine, but he lacks the ring education Parker carries into every battle. Promoter Eddie Hearn, long familiar with Parker's career, has openly praised the Kiwi heavyweight's resurgence. Hearn calls this the run of Parker's life, pointing to his upset of Deontay Wilder, his victory over the dangerous Zhang, and his willingness to face tough opposition without hesitation. This is a man chasing legacy, not comfort. Wardley is still talking about what he might do. Parker is already...
I think it's a great fight. I mean, firstly, Joe Parker is on an incredible run.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beaten Wilder when no one really wanted to fight him. He's beaten Zhang when he was like the bogeyman, and he's just beaten Bakoli, although, you know, on short notice. I mean, that was a dangerous fight to take. So
Absolutely.
I love Joe. I think he deserves an opportunity. Joe against Dubois, Joe against Usyk, Joe against AJ. They're all great fights.
already proving what he has done. That difference in pedigree is staggering. Hearn adds that Parker is once again in line for world-level fights against the likes of Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, or Daniel Dubois. That's the level Parker belongs at, the very top table of heavyweight boxing. Wardley, while ambitious, risks being exposed as not yet ready for that company. Former cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson echoes that sentiment, praising Parker's technical depth. He points to Parker's rehearsed combinations that make him unpredictable and dangerous from any range. Wardley, by comparison, relies too heavily on landing one big shot, which makes him easier to read and far more limited. Parker can blend speed, timing, and underrated power in ways that overwhelm opponents. Ultimately, control will be the deciding factor. If Parker...
He's got at least 6-7 set combinations. He can fight. So he needs to control this beast. If he doesn't control it, don't be surprised if you get an upset Saturday night. Don't be surprised.
Do you think Parker has the power or the speed and combination?
Parker dictates the tempo. Wardley will spend the fight reacting rather than imposing himself. And against a fighter as seasoned and sharp as Joseph Parker, reacting is a dangerous game. That's when Joseph Parker will start breaking Fabio Wardley down, stacking on pressure until the younger man runs out of options. Johnny Nelson even suggests fans shouldn't be shocked if Parker forces a stoppage. Former British champion Spencer Oliver respects Wardley's courage and heart, but is brutally honest about the gulf between surviving and thriving at the elite level. Wardley showed resilience against Justis Huni, but he was outboxed for long stretches, and Huni isn't close to Parker's league. Oliver concedes Wardley will always have a puncher's chance, but that phrase alone shows the gap. Parker brings far more composure, ring IQ, technical mastery, and the experience of surviving against the very best. Oliver stresses that Parker thrives in engagements, drawing mistakes and punishing them with sharp counters. Wardley may battle bravely and always have...
I don't think anyone would accuse Usyk of ducking anything, right?
So, do you dance like that when you're injured?
He dances like that on the paddle court. I danced around in absolute misery when I was playing on a paddle court. Talking about Joseph Parker, the Ringer magazine have just announced that August 25th at the O2, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, called it. There you go.
What do you think to that?
Yeah, I
think
that's been announced.
Yes,
I love that fight. I think it's a great fight.
To the later rounds, but Parker's quality should decide the outcome. Boxing journalist Liam Gulf captures the central tension. The risk in this fight is far greater for Wardley. He's skipping levels, leaping from fringe contenders to a battle-hardened veteran who has faced it all. That's like trying to pass the final exam after skipping half the textbook. For Parker, the risk is minimal. Wardley's lack of top-level experience adds some unpredictability, but unpredictability rarely beats class. Parker has adapted to every style, sluggers, movers, counterpunchers, and found ways to win. Wardley, by contrast, has never faced anyone as complete as Parker. For Wardley, defeat could expose him as unready for this stage. For Parker, victory simply confirms what we already know: he belongs among the elite. Sports broadcaster Simon Jordan doesn't sugarcoat it. He argues Wardley was lucky to escape his last fight, which makes this sudden jump to Joseph Parker all the more questionable. If you struggle with someone like Huni, how do you deal with a rejuvenated Parker who...
Risk for both guys to take this fight. A big risk for Fabio Wardley because it's a massive jump up in comparison to Justis Huni, and it's the unpredictability and the unknown of Fabio Wardley for Joseph Parker. you know. So I respect the both guys for taking this fight. Frank Warren hit the nail.
Who has just taken down Wilder and Zhang. Jordan asks, Adam Catterall echoes that point. Parker is the man in form, the man with pedigree, and the man with momentum. Wardley may talk about opportunity, but opportunity doesn't equal readiness. Jordan and Catterall reflect the skepticism of many fans who believe this step has come too soon. This clash is more than just another date on the boxing calendar, it's a potential turning point. For Joseph Parker, victory would cement his resurgence and throw his name back into the world title conversation against Usyk, Joshua, or Dubois. It would prove his recent run is not a fluke but a defining chapter in his legacy. For Fabio Wardley, the stakes are even higher. If he pulls off the upset, it would rank as one of the biggest shocks in British heavyweight boxing in years. But if he loses and loses badly, it could reveal him as a fighter not yet ready for the top tier.
Parker versus Wardley.
Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well,
He
that's
was
what I was
getting
going to say.
systematically
Is it the right fight for Fabio?
I think Joe Parker wins it. I think.
Does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
The guy that he
Well,
just
it's
fought
the
was
right
Justin
opportunity.
Sweeney,
It's all
wasn't
about
Justin
opportunity.
Sweeney,
And you have to, it's the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
For Fabio?
so. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
Boxing has always been a sport defined by levels. Power and heart matter, but at the highest level they're not enough on their own. Joseph Parker has shown in camp that he's sharper, smarter, and more composed than ever. Wardley may have momentum and self-belief, but belief doesn't land punches and momentum doesn't defend against world-class combinations. This fight is about levels. And right now, Parker is proving he still belongs at the very top. So who are you backing? Joseph Parker to dominate and continue his resurgence? Or Fabio Wardley to deliver a miracle upset and rewrite the heavyweight narrative?